The kitchen system obviously has to function really well. The kitchen system will be working with the garden teams, be working with the transport team for purchasing. They'll be working with people who are dehydrating food and storing food, the people running the root cellars, people running restaurants. And so I need a food manager that fits in with my goals. They should not be vegan. We will be having chickens and rabbits here again. I've had them before. They were super productive. The rabbits can eat plants that we can't even eat. So when we're cutting a trail and maintaining trails, we can just dump the stuff in there as long as it's not toxic. The rabbits will eat it and produce magic meat that's really easy to process. We still get furs out of that, and then we can make clothing with the furs. There's so many cool roles. Food is absolutely one of the most critical ones. It has to be done in a way that is done like a restaurant. So food safety is absolutely critical. We are not rainbow family people who get dysentery all the time. You look at like an Amish kitchen. I've seen pictures of Amish kitchens, and they have like stainless steel countertops. I mean, it looks like a restaurant, and that is the way to do it. I want lots of solar cooking going on. Anytime the sun can be involved, we want to do it with the sun. And I'm designing right now solar ovens that work even when it's cloudy. In theory, they're not built yet. But you look up like, for example, GoSun has evacuated tube little ovens. And I'm using that same technology in a different way. I want all the food to be really healthy. People can eat a vegan diet here, that's just fine, but it's not a vegan place. And I wouldn't be inviting any vegans who are militant vegans who are going to kill the chickens or something by leaving the door open and setting them free. So I don't want people to be real picky in their diet. I realize it's very fashionable to be picky and say, oh, I don't eat gluten and stuff, whatever. And we can serve those people, but in the recruiting process, I'll be trying to avoid people who have kind of psychosomatic food limitations. I don't know that there's really any diet we couldn't support, but I find it inconvenient in some cases. I don't trust fruitarians. I don't think it's probably healthy just to live off of just fruit. I don't know that it's good or bad to have a carnivore diet where you just eat meat. I'm trying not to be judgmental about it. But I think a varied diet made of food, eating food made of food, not processed meats, not chemicals, weird chemicals in your food. Yes, I know that everything is made of chemicals, but I'm talking about weird chemicals whose names you can barely pronounce. And so I'd rather eat fresher food that we grow on site as much as possible. And when we can't do that, make sure we know the supply chain of where we get the food and that we like the people who are creating it. We like their labor policies. So we're not buying things made with slave labor, because a lot of the chocolate you buy, for example, is created with slave labor. I don't want to support that, but I know of chocolate places in the world that are cool. We can go visit them. We can check them out, because I don't want to eat pain. I don't want to eat slavery or slave-created food. So a really important role. And then, of course, if somebody isn't the food director, then we need food workers as well. And they could be learning even to run their own whole restaurant. And we can have multiple food places all through the property. Every community will have various food options, and we can make those be available. We might even start a restaurant in town, or perhaps even a chain of restaurants, if we can make them be profitable. Restauranting is a tough business, but what if we made an international restaurant? Because we're going to invite people from all over the world. And so we could be cooking really cool meals from all over the world. There is a German restaurant nearby. Why not a world food restaurant? I would like to try more Indian food. I miss Thai food. We could make Thai food here. We could be growing crops that support a variety of types of food. We could be making kimchi. We could be fermenting anything we can ferment. There's something called koji, which ferments beans. And dried beans take forever to cook. And so if we process them with koji, then that would reduce cooking time. So one of the goals of the kitchen would be to run the food system in a way that uses less energy. So there's a lot of stuff. It's very complicated. And we could even end up writing a whole book. And cookbooks sell very well. They're one of the big sellers. we could write like Cooking for a New World or something, where we really look at the energy systems that go into food, the agriculture behind it. It's just it's probably the most critical system that there is. And in your own life, wherever you are, that's probably the way that you can easiest change the world around you, is by changing your diet, by seeing what effect your diet has on the world. This also fits in with the water systems, because we have limited water here, and we probably always will, where we want to cook in a way that uses less water. And we want to cook in a way, we want to have food systems set up so that food can be stored. We have a lot of stored food in case there's ever a bad climate year and all of our plants die, or a bunch of them do, or there's an interruption in the food supply or the energy supply. We should be very protected against that. So how we deal with food affects our health. It affects our survival. It's absolutely critical. Good luck thinking about all that. That's why we need the book. More than one book, maybe.